Hey guys.
Hey guys. Oh. You go.
Do you want to start it?
No, you're fine.
Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. And today I have a special guest, Jacob.
Hello.
We like to go on walks in the afternoons, and so yesterday during our walk we were talking about the weird ways that we've made money. And so I thought that it'd be fun if we sat down and shared some of those, because Jacob definitely has a few. So special guest Jacob is going to share some odd ways that he's made money. But before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. Here on my channel we talk about budgeting tips to help you win with money. So if you want to learn how to accomplish financial goals while still being able to enjoy life, then this is definitely the place for you. So scroll down and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, here are some weird ways that we've made money.
You want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. Okay, the oldest one was probably in 6th grade, and it was actually like a project where we were challenged to take $10 and double it. And my sister and I were both challenged to do this, and so I think we had $20 then, and so then we were trying to make 40, and so we decided to make duct tape things like wallets and bracelets and stuff. And so we bought like 3 rolls of duct tape, silver, black, and red, because that's all they had back then. And we made wallets, and I think she made like braided bracelets and stuff. And then we just like sold them at school, I think. That's I mean, that's all we did with it. And so then we doubled our money. So that was my first weird way to make money.
Wow, you're a true entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. One weird way that I made money, when we were married for like a year, one of my mom's friends had a niece or something who bought a wedding dress, but then ended up not wanting to use it for her wedding. So my mom's friend was trying to sell it on like Craigslist or something, but she wanted like a good picture of it, of someone wearing the dress, and so it like fit me. So she had me come over to her house, and I put on this wedding dress, and she took photos of me for it so she could like list it on Craigslist.
It's good money right there.
Yeah, I made like $20.
Nice. Solid.
Yeah. Who knew I was a model?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Okay, so my next way that's kind of weird was probably around the same time, somewhere within a year or two of that same story. My mom's office was doing a challenge for like all their patients, and so they were handing out buttons, you know, like the little vote for whatever type buttons, and so they needed to make them all. So she had printed out the design on paper, and so they had to be cut out, and then she bought a button making kit, which Marissa's going to put on the screen just so you can see what it looks like. It's basically just like a levered press thing with all these different dies. And so my mom was like, well, do you guys want to make money making buttons? She was like, we'll give you like, I think it was 25 cents a button. And so we were like, my sister and I again, we're like, okay. And so we started making buttons. So we would sit there for like hours and just like cut out all these circles and then line out all the little plastic films, and you'd have to sit there and, you know, press the front and then put a back on, and then press the back with a little pin on it and do that. And so we just had this little factory going of just making buttons, because they needed like hundreds of them or something. I don't know. I remember my sister quit partway through because it was really annoying, and it was actually really difficult. You had to basically put your whole body weight on the press to get it to work, and we were very small children. So it was, like I said, 25 cents a button, but if you can crank out a few buttons a minute, I mean at least 2 or 3, then it definitely adds up. And it was just during the summer, and we did that for a while. I don't know how much I made, maybe $20 to $50 or something. I'm not sure how many buttons we ended up making, but it was a lot. We definitely did that for a long time, but it was just the most random, looking back on it now, is the most random way to make money, was just sitting there pressing buttons for like hours, like an hour to a day for like weeks. So yeah.
I feel like this, like thinking of all these things that we're doing, I mean a lot of them are like childhood weird ways that we've made money? Because I feel like that's when you make weird money, is when you're a kid.
Someone just offers to pay you money to do some random thing.
And as a kid, you're like, oh, of course.
Sure.
So I have one that's really not that weird, but it has a, like, sketchy story to it. Okay. When I was in high school, and start over. So we live in Oregon, because this isn't a thing for all states, but we live in Oregon where you can recycle bottles and cans and get money for it. So it used to be 5 cents per bottle, and you like take it to a machine at the store and you put them in individually, and then they give you 5 cents per bottle that you return. So I don't even think there's many states that do that.
No, I mean the bottles we have show 3 states on them.
Yeah,
or 4, so.
There's not many, which also cracks me up because as an Oregonian, we're very like recycling conscious, and you like if you watch anyone throw a can in the trash can, it's just like I know, it's like I have to pick it out and put it in the recycling. All that to be said, my parents were collecting like cans, you know, just like when you drink them, instead of throwing them in the trash, you just save them to the side and then you can go return them, or at least just include them in your recycling bin. So I was 16 and my parents were like, okay, all the, you know, bottles are outside, you know, take them to the store and recycle them, and like you can keep the money. And I didn't really want to, but I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I drove to the store and with all of the cans in there, and go up to the machine and one by one start putting all the bottles in. So everything from cans, glass bottles, like 2-liter soda bottles, like all the things, putting them in the machine. And first off, I'm also a germaphobe, and so it's just gross to me. Like, it just smells like soda and beer and stuff.
Just bad.
It just smells terrible in those like facilities. Putting it in, I take out a 2-liter bottle, and I look at that. I was like, oh, there's something in it. And I look at it, and it looks like there's like a clump of mud. And I look closer. It was a dead mouse. It was a dead mouse in a 2-liter bottle.
It was in the bottle.
I know, but it was disgusting because all these bottles were sitting outside next to like my parents' house, which they don't have like a mouse or rat problem, but it was just like a little mouse. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I was like horrified, and there was a lady next to me who was also putting her bottles in, and she was like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, there's a mouse in this bottle. And she told me, well, don't waste the 5 cents. Still put it in the machine.
That's great. Waste not, want not.
That was so disgusting. And so I took the 2-liter bottle, put it in the machine. The machine goes crunch, crunch, crunch. It's very disgusting.
I'm sure that happens a lot.
That is nasty. And, you know, when it was all said and done, I made what? Not even $2.
Probably.
But now, I will say in Oregon, now you get 10 cents per bottle return. So not 5 cents.
It's worth it now for people. Yeah.
We still don't do that. We very rarely have cans.
I mean, we still recycle them.
We still recycle,
We just don't take them
somewhere.
we
hold them off to the side and then recycle them.
We just put them in the recycling center and they do it.
Don't get the money back, so.
I feel like most of mine are pretty normal. I mean, you guys know Marissa has said in the past that I've done, like, random tasks for people, like using an app, and so I have certain things that they that I say I'm capable of doing, and then they just hire me for it. So it's pretty normal. Like, I assembled furniture for someone, I've mounted a TV on the wall, you know, even for friends or family, they've paid me to you know, either change the oil or change air filters or batteries or
put together furniture.
So just things like that. But I think the funniest one was on the app I use for like strangers. It's like a 1-hour minimum. So like when I installed the TV on the wall, if my rate was $20 an hour, I don't even know what it was, then even if I finish it in 15 minutes, I still get the $20 basically. So I pull up to this place, and it was an automotive one, and they said they needed help loosening a bolt, and I was like, I should be able to do that. I was like, and I knew it was going to be hard, but I figured I had more tools than they did probably, so I had at least an idea of how to do it. So I brought over a few things, and I pull up, and these two guys are like, yeah, we just, you know, they had taken the headers off their engine or the exhaust manifold, and they were like, we just can't get this one bolt all the way down in the bottom. And they're like, it's just stuck. And I was like, okay, well, let's see. And so I take out my socket and stick it on there and stick the wrench on. And I mean, I put my whole body weight into it. I was pulling on this thing so that the front of the car was like, the suspension was lifting up a little. Like, it would not budge just because the wrench was this long, right? And so the leverage, just the mechanical leverage, wasn't there. So I'm like, how can I rig this up? So I end up getting the wrench with an extension on it, like a socket extension, which isn't made for this. I go into my car and get out the toe, like the jack kit for replacing a tire, and find this rod that's like 1.5 feet long, and I stick that on the end. So I have like these 3 rods that are like 2.5 feet long, all stuck together on this bolt, and I just start cranking it over, and sure enough, you just hear it click, and then it loosens. And it took probably 15-20 minutes just to figure out this system. But once again, the 1 hour minimum, and I think the automotive rate was like $30 or something. And so then I got the bolt off or whatever, and so I leave, and then I kind of thought about it later, and it was like, I just got paid $30 to loosen a bolt. It was like, when all was said and done, that's all I actually did. And
didn't they tip you for that too?
Yeah, they tipped me like, percentage. It was like $5 or $6 extra. And I was like, did I just make like $35 literally technically just twisting a bolt? And I was like, I guess so. But I mean, no fault of their own for not having the right tools, because I didn't even have the right tools. I had to jerry rig something together to get it to work. But
yeah,
it was just funny. I mean, I'm surprised nothing broke, but yeah, get paid to loosen a bolt. I mean, it's pretty weird when you think about it in that lens.
Yeah. So another weird maybe way that I started making money, which now has turned into an actual like income stream, is selling my budget templates. Mm-hmm. So when on my YouTube channel, I share our budget, and so I do like a budget planning video and our budget report, and I use an Excel spreadsheet that I had made, and I had someone reach out to me and was like, hey Marissa, I'd really like to use your spreadsheet, like, can I pay you for it? And I was like, oh, how
sure.
Interesting. Sure. And so she just like Venmo'd me, and then that got me thinking, oh, I could actually like sell this and have it be like an actual income producing thing. So I now make between like $250 to $300 a month from selling my budget templates on Etsy.
Wow.
And so that little funny, like, just someone asking me about it was what got me was what like launched me into actually starting my Etsy shop. So
nice.
It was what I thought was weird at the beginning, now has become something that's made decent money. Okay, Jacob, one last one. This one's really weird.
Is it weird?
Good.
Well,
it's really funny.
It's based on a completely normal premise, but we just weren't thinking of it that way.
Uh-huh.
So we know of people who actually, like, you basically garage sell and find things on Craigslist, and you buy them and then just resell them for more money. That's the general concept, but we kind of did it on accident. When I was in college, my senior year, I had 3 roommates, and we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and so we needed furniture. So I had bought one thing. I bought like a bunk bed because we wanted to have more room. And so I had bought a bunk bed for like, I don't know, it was like $80 or something. And then we also needed couches. So we started looking in like the Craigslist free section, and found some guy who like had gotten divorced. His wife moved out, and he was like, I can get rid of these couches now. And he's like, I'm getting my own. And so he just like gave us these couches, and they were ugly.
Do you have any pictures of them?
Probably not.
You guys,
maybe, but yeah, it was bad. And so we got these ugly, they were like mustard yellow with giant red flowers on them. Like, it was bad. And that wasn't even the first ones we got. We had gotten a smoker couch that had massage reclining seats in it, and it smelled so bad we had to get rid of it.
It was also full of cat hair.
Yeah, that one wasn't good. But these we got for free. We threw them in my roommate's truck, and we also got a leather recliner chair as well that was also his. He's like, hey, I went and set this out at the dump before you guys showed up. You can grab it. It was in their parking lot of their apartment, and so we threw that in the car too. and brought it over to the apartment, and we used those all year. And ironically, they were like the most comfortable couches. I loved them. Like the 3-person couch held 6 people. It was so wide, and the love seat held 4 people. Like, it was ridiculous. So for us having, you know, us and girlfriends and, you know, just friends over and everything, it was perfect. But then at the end of the year, I was like, well, let's just put these online for however much money. And so we sold them for, I think, like $20 or something, like $25. And some family came and they're like, oh, we need them for our basement. And so they just threw them in the back of their truck and took them.
It's still mind-boggling to me that anyone would pay for those couches because they were so hideous.
I know. Well, I mean, honestly, our plan was just to go throw them in the dumpster next to the apartment complex. But we ended up selling that. An old roommate had given my roommate a desk, and he sold that for like $50 at the end of the year. My bunk bed I sold for like $100 at the end of the year, and which I think I had paid $80 for, and I bought brand new hardware for it, made it better than what I got it for, and then sold it for more. So we got like a year's use out of everything we got, and then made like $100 on everything total. Which was unintentional. We just figured we'd stick them online and see what happened, and ended up selling all of it. So
it cracks me up.
Yeah, those were ugly, but they were comfortable. So
that is all we have for this video of these weird ways that we've made money in storytime format. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up.
Turn the bell on.
Turn the bell on.
Woo.
Don't forget to subscribe and then turn the bell on. And also leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you're interested in seeing more of these kind of like storytime videos. And then also let us know what is one really weird way that you've made money. And with that, we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye guys.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me.